Hello and welcome to the reading. Well, I'm the Lone Wolf and this is the Lone Wolf Tarot. We have the King coming out immediately for this timeless general read. So when you see it is when you see it and you take what resonates and you leave the rest, okay? Don't be sitting here trying to comment and tell me about something I said wrong because at the end of the day, what you doing? No, I'm just joking. Anyway, I'm so sorry. All right. So with that being said, we have King Repairman and we also have Bard coming out, right? So Bard is on the fence, bro. I'm about to say Repairman's on the fence. So we're gonna pull supporting energies for King. We have Sneak Peek. All right, interesting. Then we have Repairman coming out. Repairman. Okay, so two cards technically came out. So I'm gonna take this one only because but I'm gonna take it like with a grain of salt. Okay. Anyway, so then we also have Bard. Y'all, we're gonna dive into this. We're gonna dive into it. So Alliance came out. So like, all right, I'm already getting shit for Bard. So we're gonna dive into Bard first, okay? With Bard coming out in Alliance, it's giving like you're starting to trust somebody, or maybe someone's telling you honest tales of their life. Maybe someone's like giving you the tea, right? We're giving you the tea, but it's giving like something that's actually real, something that happened, something that, and like you could also because of the realness or like the authenticity of the conversation of the storytelling, like you're kind of like connecting with this person, you're believing them, you're trusting them, you're building a rapport with them because of all the things that they go through and all the things that you're going through. Like you're like basically kind of like feeling this friendship or this vibe type of thing. So with loneliness and stress coming out for repair, okay, loneliness is in the back energy. So basically, you could feel by yourself. You could feel by yourself, and like you're trying to repair your stress levels. You're trying to restore this peace. Maybe you're stressed and you're being called to, like restart, renew, refresh. Maybe pull inward with the loneliness. Maybe like actually channel your disappointments and the things that's causing you stress. This guy low key does look a little bit upset with life type of energy, like he's like not happy to be a repairman low key. He just seems like damn, I have to be always fixing things and stuff. Maybe it's time for you to actually fix yourself. Maybe you have a lot of people on your plate. On your plate. You have a lot of people on, yeah, on your plate. You have a lot of things on your plate, a lot of people, a lot of things you have to do. And like it's stressing you out because you're by yourself. So with this person, you could be talking to somebody, or maybe someone listens to you and like lets you be honest, and lets you open up to them, and like like, or maybe somebody's going through the same things as you, and they tell you like the stuff that they went through, and it's like helping you in some type of way, and like maybe it's like repairing your the issues of loneliness. Like maybe you don't feel alone anymore in the situation because you're building a connection with someone through. So like let's say like it's giving like grandfather and grandson. Like like maybe you just got married. This is just an example for you to understand the energy. You just got married and like you are calling up your grandfather or your dad or something because you don't know what to do, and you don't like have anyone else to talk to, and they're telling you stories about their marriage and stories about what worked for them and stories about like that. Like it's giving like somebody's there for you to help you when you're stressed and when you feel lonely, and like they're restoring your energy, or like um giving you like lessons through like through that, like you're like when you watch a movie and you get the moral of the story, or like the frog in the hair, right? What's it called? The turtle in the hair, the rabbit racing the turtle, and there's like a moral of the story, and they could be telling you stories but they have morals in them, and you're like, oh, thank you so much, I actually caught that, like and it's like you're going back to try to like restore, refresh, or fix. It doesn't give romantic relationship, but like it's not giving like you're going to fix a romantic relationship. It just gives like you're going to try to fix whatever's stressing you out, whatever you feel like you don't like, so with anyway, so like you could have some type of like leadership role. Maybe you're the king of your boat, your ship, or something. Like you're the one who runs everything. Okay, I feel like you have a lot of people watching you, or a lot of people um, looking at you, or looking at you, or stalking you, or maybe you are somebody who watches the people that you're ruling over. You know what I'm trying to say? But I don't know exactly what's going on with the sneak peek, because it's giving like sneak peek to me is stalker energy somebody who like is watching you, it could be significant, but also like someone who's watching you or you're watching them. So like the for the king to have authority and rule but then be stalking somebody is kind of a little bit um like I would feel like they have more things to worry about. We're gonna get more information because like let's see how all these are connected type of thing, because we do have like insight on what's going on, but at the same time, because I don't fully understand the king, maybe I should just dive straight into it. But I'm gonna get an overall energy for the cards that are like what's bringing them all together. So King of Pentacles came out. So yeah, you could be like somebody who's working, maybe a business, maybe a leadership, maybe somebody who's like very disciplined, someone who's abundant, someone who's financially stable, somebody who's working really hard. Maybe you have a lot on your shoulders, which I already said, type of energy, and people like come to you about things. Maybe people are just watching you because of the way you move as a king. Maybe they try to make decisions, like not decisions. Maybe they try to make like yeah, maybe they try to make decisions based off of like what you do and stuff or something of the sort. And maybe like it's a very heavy as the head that wears the crown kind of energy, because like you're by yourself, no one really talking to you, no one really maybe you're a storyteller. Okay, maybe you are the bard. Maybe like you build some type of repertoire with people because you talk truthfully with them. You build trust because you're expressing all your like life stories and everything that you went through type of thing. But in reality, you're like helping so many people potentially that you're not really focusing on yourself. Maybe somebody is aware of that with sneak peek and they're watching you, or maybe you're becoming more aware of that because um, I don't know. So connective wise, I feel like you're the bard and you're the repairman and you're the king. Okay, I feel like you could like yeah, just be someone who talks to people, tells people stories, let them feel like this and that, they trust you type of thing. But then also when they do trust you and stuff, you still feel alone because you're like it's like giving like you're their best friend, but they're not your best friend type of thing. Like they don't ask about you, they don't check up on you type of energy. Potentially like you're by yourself, you're alone, but you have a lot of people watching you, you have a lot of people like looking up to you, you have a lot of people stalking you, a lot of people wanting to know what you're doing, but you're still lonely, you're still by yourself, even though you're surrounded by so many people who are looking at up at you and trusting your guidance and shit. So what's this king? I don't know why I just cursed. Emperor, bro. Thanks so much. So we have emperor and king. So you're very much, you could be masculine. You're very much in your emperor energy and your very divine masculine energy. You're very protective. Maybe you protect the people who watch you. Maybe you you know have some type of authority that people given you, or you have an authority. You have some type of leadership role. Maybe you have a business or something of the sort with the pinnacle. So you could be someone who's a businessman and you're like the CEO of your business, or you're like the founder or something of the sort and stuff. And like okay, so what's going on with the sneak peek? Because what the hell? Like, are you there? Like, are they the ones talking? Are you the one? Like, what the hell? Okay, so you could be watching somebody because you don't feel happy about your situation. Like, let's be real, right? So let's be real, right? You have repairman with stress and loneliness. So like, you could be the person who fixes everybody but yourself. Because how you are a repairman, but you're lonely and stressed? Like, you know, you're dealing with things that you're not telling people, but you're here for people type of energy, right? So like you could be watching people who are happy. Maybe like you're starting to be aware of the lack of happiness that you have potentially. Maybe you're like, oh, okay, I see everyone. I see all the people that I'm working for, all the people that I'm doing this for happy and stuff, and I'm actually missing this. Okay, so you could be somebody who's like starting to get a little curious about something. We have the like maybe you're starting to dabble in the art of like doing what you want to do. Okay, so like let's say like okay, you never ever go out, and like finally, even though you worked 10 days straight, you decided okay, I'm gonna go for a walk in the park. I'm gonna go to a party that my friends have been trying to get me to go to, or you know her birthday or his birthday has been coming around every year the same time, and I'm finally just gonna do it, like you know. And then you show up and you're like, it's unusual for people to see you doing something entertaining and or fun or out, like you know, because you're such a not saying that the emperor can't have fun, but it's like he's more about structure, he's more about stability, he's more about like, important, like he's focusing on like the important things and such. So it's like for you to finally maybe potentially dabble in the things that, like in indulgence, maybe you some took a dab or something, or maybe like shots, everybody, like you start to indulge a little bit type of thing. And like, yeah, maybe you start to be a little bit more free spirited, or you start to question or like look into the freeness of your life. Like, can I be a little bit of a free spirit? Can I get a little bit more excitement? Can I break free type of thing? It could be repairing your loneliness and your stress levels as well if you did step out. Like, maybe you're supposed to step out. Maybe you're supposed to like, you have all these stories to tell, and maybe people like trust you and you're like very compatible and stuff, but it's like you're just given a person who doesn't do that, and maybe now you're starting to do that. Maybe you're being called to do that. Maybe you're being confirmed that it's okay to break free. Maybe you were like sitting there and be like, should I have went to that party even though my deadline was due last week and I didn't make it, and blah blah blah, and I'm stressing because of this and that. It's like, okay, yeah, you could sit here and stress, or you could listen to people's stories and have fun type of energy and like turn up and stuff. Low key, that was kind of giving. Is there anything else I'm missing? Okay, so with the now we have the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe there's like either there's a counterpart because we have both, right? But it's also giving like you could be like, either you have very good work life balance, which is what I always take, okay, or you could be somebody who's like start like very practical and very like someone who people go to for financial help and guidance and stuff of that sort. I feel like you have people depending on you in a way financially. So whatever you're doing is something that people actually like want from you, and they feel like you're providing for them somehow. Like, financially is more or less just a physical thing. So like maybe you're providing a place for them to sleep, maybe you have a hotel, or maybe like so it's just giving like you have something that people are coming to you for. Why is this here? Why is this here? I'm not even gonna flex. Like, why is it here? Damn. So we have like all the pentacles. Okay. So like you're very hardworking and like you have a routine and stuff, and people like are depending on you. Okay. So it's giving like heavy dependent energy. They depend on you in some type of way. Okay. These people depend on your kingliness. The people depend like a little bit too much. I'm not gonna lie. Like maybe you very much give them some type of happiness, or like you ease their, like, all the pentacles are here, bro. We got the whole pentacle family. Okay, you are very like financially or physically, you are very dependable. Like you can, everyone knows you got it covered, type of thing. So for you to step out and do something like, you're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, we know that Dylan's gonna be at work at 6 a.m. no matter what. He's always popping up, he's always showing up. So, like, for the fact that you decided to veer off, it feels like that's completely outside of your energy. Like, if you look, all the cards of tarot, except for the one that's in reverse, is pentacles. Oh, wait, that's not true. We have also wands. But, like, all of it is pentacles except for the wands, a little bit of wands, and a little bit of cups. So, it's like both of these are emotional, but everything else is very, like, strategical, very, like, not strategical, but very like sturdy, dependable, like reliable, slow moving, potentially, just a chill type of energy. Then you have like, okay, well, a burst of emotion, a burst of like insight, a burst of an idea, a burst of like the potential of being exploring the world and seeing things and doing things other than that. So it's like you're kind of breaking a mold a little bit, but it's just a little bit. It's just a very tiny, itty bitty glance outside of your reality. But why? That's what I'm trying to say. What, like, there was potentially something that caused a change in your mindset, okay? So, what was the change coming from? Because everyone has a life, and not Oh, maybe you want it more for yourself. Maybe emotionally you want it more. Maybe you just wanted some type of support, genuine support. Maybe you felt very lonely and you wanted somebody. So you start maybe telling your story in a way. Let's get something on the Bard. You maybe start telling your story so that you can develop connection with people. Maybe like you start going online, or maybe you start like hanging out with people. All right, so you definitely want me to take these. So, so Bard. Ooh. So there's an energy of like you could have opened up to somebody in the past and you gained trust. You were honest. You saw potential and compatibility, and they were somebody who like did just wanted like control over you. You should have protected yourself from this person. So maybe like previously this is the energy that you were in when you communicate with people. Yeah, they maybe potentially lied to you, manipulated you, moved strategically to get information from you. This is like taking a turn, I'm not gonna lie. And it's like, wow, surprisingly, you still like you. So you built up this wall because we look. There's like a wall of like freaking like a very big boundary around the king. So you may have like, but then that made you kind of so like there was always a part of you that wanted the release of this protective wall you made of yourself. So you kind of like peeked out of the wall a little bit and like indulged in something or tried to like do something outside of this fearful energy that was created from being so open as an individual. So you're still very open. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like maybe you're more controlled about who you open up to, or maybe like you still have this wanting to tell your stories, wanting to communicate with someone, wanting to connect with someone in that type of way. This took a complete turn, I'm not gonna lie. And it's giving like it's because you want some type of inner fulfillment, inner happiness, okay? Because we have the 9 of Cups. So like you took an action towards your happiness and stuff, but it wasn't like it was not something that made you happy. So like let's say everyone around you is going out for beverages and you're like, you know what? I'm 21 and up and I totally want a beverage as well. So you do that. That's not really like yours. Like that's what everyone else is doing, but you still try to do something in the cups aspect, but you really want this 10 of cups. Like maybe you want a family, maybe you don't want a party, maybe you want to, you know, follow your dreams or something of the sort. Maybe you just did this because you financially you needed to do it and people were dependent on you, your family, your maybe like you could be an immigrant, and you know how people move to different countries and then their families like don't spoil the opportunity I gave you, and you take a lot of action towards building something beautiful for yourself, type of thing. Like that's what it's giving, but it's like you're not fulfilled doing this. You're and then you're by yourself. So let's get some, and you're by yourself because of it. Like you're stressed. People are dependent on you. People trust that you're gonna keep doing it. People don't think you're gonna step out. People say you're very like, and then you start like, yeah, then you're just like, I have all of this because the 4 of Cups just came out. I have all of this, but I want something else. I'm not satisfied. And then you started to like try to explore. Was it the greatest option for you? Potentially not with the in reverse, but it's like you still took time out to do something different. Okay, what's this repair? I feel like it's obvious what the repair is. You need to fix your loneliness. Yeah, you need to take time out to fix your loneliness, prioritize your loneliness, prioritize your stress levels. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe take a break, actually take a break. Okay, and like be able to say, okay, this is not working with me. I've been doing it this long and now I'm stressing out, or I get burned out every week. Instead of me taking 5 hours out, I'm going to take, okay, so this came out. Instead of taking 5 hours out of the day, I'm going to take 3.5. You know what I'm trying to say, or something like that, and give myself a little bit more time. Like, just prioritizing it in a different way. But with that being said, I'm going to focus on the 4 of Wands because it did just fly out. It's giving like, unfortunately, this could be an issue. I'm not gonna lie. So it's giving like people are dependent on you somewhere, somehow. They trust you. You're very trustworthy. Okay, you could have told people like your weaknesses in a way, and they kind of use that to their advantage because it keeps control over you. Like you don't want it to be a disappointment. This is giving like maybe your parents are like, oh, we need you to keep funding our lifestyle now because we moved here, and you're the one who's making all the money, or like you're the influencer, the child influencer. Hold on, you're the you're the child. Yeah, you need to set boundaries because it seems like you're the person everyone's depending on, but now when you actually step away from their dependability on you, you start to like cause issues, and like the issues are 100% valid because they should not be dependent on you in this level of things to where you're like stressing, you're by yourself, you have no one to talk to, you're horribly like depressed or potentially and stuff. Like, not saying you are, I rebuke that, but like if you are feeling some type of way, it's kind of obvious that the people who are depending on you don't give a fuck about the fact that you feel in this type of way. So you need to cut them off or create some type of boundaries and actually focus on yourself and not focus on like the family aspect of the situation. You feel me? Like, what fulfills you in a way, because you're not really fully fulfilled because you're so dependable, because everyone's looking up to you, because everyone's knows, oh, if I need something, Deborah got it. Oh, if I you know what I'm trying to say, if I fall short, homie over here pull up every time. You feel me? So it's like, damn, does anyone check up on you? Does anyone ask you how your day's going? Does anyone give a fuck about you? Do they? Because it don't seem like it. I don't see any type of like, oh, this is like heavy, not love. You feel me? Like, this is not like a love type of energy. They more or less just trust you. They more or less like know that you, like, let's say you're the person who's like, yeah, my family moved here in 1982 and then we did this and that. Like, you're the one who tells people the story and this is why I do this and stuff. They trust you. You gain loyalty from their situation and stuff. Like, you know, like, it's giving low key like a kid who has their parents' bills coming from their auto draft. And that's fine and all. And you can do that. But at the same time, if it's restricting to where you can't enjoy yourself at all and you're lonely and sad and depressed, that's where the issues are lying. You know, like, it's okay to support your family. It's okay to be there for anybody whoever this is for. You feel me? But at the same time, it's giving like, damn, I'm hurting, and y'all don't even like notice. Okay, that's what it's like. That's what I'm getting. All right, but anyway, let's just pull a card so I can go because my kid's screaming in the background. Let's pull a crystal card. Intuition. So like, you could be feeling this nudge, and that's why you're doing the. We have Pearl. That's why you've been sneaking around and being funny and stuff. So we have Pearl coming out. It says intuition is seeing with the soul. So like, you're seeing what's hurting your soul. You're actually like, this is confirmation for you. Basically, you know that this is like fucked up, the situation that you're in, and I didn't expect this to take this turn. But it's like, even if people are trusting you, believing in you and stuff like that, there's a way to where you can start repairing yourself, repairing your loneliness, repairing your stress levels, repairing all that, and still being dependable. You don't have to like throw this all in the garbage. That's why it's like low key, a little bit sneaky peeky, instead of it being just full fledged. Fuck these people, because at the end of the day, y'all might need to go to therapy, like family therapy or like whatever therapy. You might need to communicate with them, like heavy communicate. I need some type of break. I need some type of help. I need to take a day off. Do y'all want to help pick up some slack or something if y'all want to still eat? You feel me? But like, with that being said, I'm closing out. My kid's screaming. Love you. Bye. Thanks.